There's no one on this planet that can stop me. Send them all.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is my Black Adam post-credit scene video and breakdown of the ending. Hopefully you've had a chance to see the movie. The ending sets up a bunch of stuff everyone has been asking about for the last couple of years, so it's really good news. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. Careful for spoilers if you haven't seen the movie yet. But if you've been praying for Warner Brothers to bring back Henry Cavill as Superman, congratulations. The ritual sacrifices you've been performing in your basement for the past 2 years have worked. They totally did all the things. The short answer on that is it is actually The Rock who's responsible for Henry Cavill being able to come back even in the first place as Superman. Like previously, the regime that was in place before this didn't want Henry Cavill to be the one to come back. But at the end of the movie, Black Adam successfully defeats and kills Sabbac, who has essentially created a demon version of the Shazam and Black Adam characters. Like, Sabbac works like the Shazam and Black Adam characters work. They're granted the power of a group of gods, so the Shazam acronym stands for specific different gods, but it's different for the Black Adam character and different gods for the Shazam character. They're accurate to that in the movie, and for the Sabbac character, it's the same thing, but it's a group of demons that grant him his power. The human that becomes empowered as the next Sabbac is basically like the last descendant of the previous king of Kahndaq who lived during Black Adam's original time period 5,000 years ago. The big MacGuffin of the movie is the Eternium ore. It's the DCEU version of vibranium, basically. If you were thinking of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe the minute you heard this in the theater, you're not alone. Eternium is a thing from DC Comics. It sounds like it's from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, but Eternium inside the DC universe are just shards of the Rock of Eternity that have fallen to Earth. So that's basically what they're mining in Kahndaq. Over in the Marvel Universe, vibranium isn't magical, but you get the idea. Super rare, super powerful ore that only exists in one specific place. And at that time in history, the king had forced his slaves, including Black Adam and his family, to mine Eternium ore, which they used to create the Crown of Sabbac, which is loosely based on the comics, like Sabbac is a villain from the Shazam comics. The king wants to use the crown to take the power of Sabbac, thinking that he'll become a god, but all the demons that are granting him the power, or would theoretically grant him the power, just want to use him as a conduit to get between the underworld dimension where they're stuck and the normal DCEU dimension. Even if it wasn't clear at the movie, the demons basically used the Sabbac character to open that portal. Sabbac himself wasn't doing that. He was sort of like a glorified finger puppet for the demons. But in present day, the last descendant of that previous king of Kahndaq completes what the previous king could not before Black Adam killed him in revenge, gains the powers of the demons, becomes a demon version of the Black Adam Shazam characters, opens the portal, and then obviously Black Adam has to kill him. After he's done with that, he vows to become Kahndaq's protector like he is in the comics, like his son used to be in the DCEU. There's a statue of Black Adam in Kahndaq, but they revealed that the statue was actually of his son when he was wielding the power. His son granted him the power to help save his life, but then his son was killed shortly after because he didn't have the powers to protect him. So Black Adam basically says he's going to carry up where his son left off, like fulfill his son's dream of a better world, trying to make Kahndaq a better place. And during this ending scene, they keep putting the Amon character, the son of his future love interest, Adriana Tomaz, in red capes, obviously foreshadowing for the Superman post-credit scene, the Justice League Easter eggs during the movie. Like, Amon is meant to be a superhero Justice League fanboy and has a bunch of their merch all over his room. He runs around with a bag of Justice League comics. All the Justice League Easter eggs, all the comics he has, all the artwork he has around his room, all the action figures, is all based on real-life merch. Like actual DC comics, actual DC art, like Jim Lee Batman art. All the Superman art is based on real Superman posters you could go out and buy. So it's sort of like a mishmash of Justice League merch inside the DCEU that's canon now to the DCEU, but as if the designs had been based on other real-world comic book art that you and I could go out and buy. Also, for those of you wanting Cyborg to come back in the future of the DCEU movies, the comics he runs around with inside his backpack are Cyborg comics, so it's like they're saying that he's still around in the DCEU. But he has Aquaman stuff, Wonder Woman stuff, he even has Flash stuff, even though it definitely sounds like they're going to recast that character after the Flash movie. But I'd say of all the Justice League Easter eggs, most of them are focused on the Superman Easter eggs. They're like a lot of references, a lot of Superman jokes that they have with the merch during the movie. like Amon's red cape that the Justice Society gives him, but also when Black Adam is inside his room looking around at all the Justice League merch, not really knowing what's going on, because he wakes up after 5,000 years not knowing who the Justice League characters are. Like, who are these people? Like, what is all this crap? And he keeps destroying pictures or action figures of Superman, like he even blasts one of the Superman posters through the chest with his magical lightning. Like, I see what you're doing there. Very clearly foreshadowing the Black Adam vs. Superman movie that The Rock has been hyping up. He did say that they're actually working on that, like they're actually going to pay off the post-credit scene in an actual movie. And in this ending scene, Amon wearing the red cape, standing with his mother, Adriana Tomaz, and Black Adam says he's going to change his name to something more modern, which is him just taking the actual Black Adam name, because for the majority of the movie, he just calls himself Teth Adam. No one ever actually calls him Black Adam. Also, because Amon is a proxy for Black Adam's son, Adriana Tomaz is a proxy for his dead wife, throughout the movie, and especially at the end, they set up the idea that he eventually will share his power with them, granting them the powers of Shazam the same way that Billy Batson did with the Shazamly in the first Shazam movie. And if you're not a longtime Black Adam comic book reader, this is right out of the comics. Like, he does grant a portion of his power to Adriana Tomaz, and in the comics, it's her younger brother, but in the movies, it's her son. That'll probably be plot that they cover in Black Adam 2. In The Rock, when he was promoting the movie, said, oh, here's a really interesting character who doesn't have powers yet. Like, as in she's going to get powers in the future, and I think this is going to be the twist. And he was talking about Adriana Tomaz. So because they're basing a lot of this on the comic book plot loosely, I think what they're implying with Amon and Adriana getting powers is that something will go off the rails, and that's why Superman gets involved. Like, Amon will try to use his powers and cause some huge accident, and that's why Superman gets involved. And because the sequel will probably be a lot of that Superman versus Black Adam energy, it'll probably start with him giving powers to Amon, and then they Captain America Civil War the plot. With Amon being kind of like the Bucky, and Black Adam being sort of like the Captain America figure in that equation. Like, Superman comes to find out what's going on with Amon, going crazy with his powers, trying to stop him, and Black Adam gets really pissed off because Superman lays hands on his surrogate son. But then we get the actual post-credit scene. So after Adriana and Amon go home, the Justice Society take off. There's a short time jump and night has fallen. Amanda Waller sends a drone to Black Adam at the ruins of the palace. And because earlier in the movie, he had broken out of her underwater Suicide Squad Task Force X prison with a bunch of other metahumans, she says, it's fine that you didn't want to stay in my prison, but now Kahndaq is your prison. You try to step outside the borders, I will send more powerful people to stop you. I'll call in all the favors that I need to. That's a reference to the larger Justice League characters. That's why they had so many Justice League-specific Easter eggs earlier in the movie. Just to set up the idea that this was a connected universe and that she would be able to call the Justice League. Like, this is why I sent the Justice Society first, because the more powerful people that I can call are the big favors I need to call in if things get even worse. And because he's got this whole thing in the movie, and The Rock has been using this as a big catchphrase when he's been promoting the film the past couple years about being the most powerful character on this planet. Like, he's very careful to say most powerful character on this particular planet. Amanda Waller's big clapback at him is that she can call more powerful beings than him who are from other planets. He kind of smirks at her and destroys the drone, and then Henry Cavill Superman descends through the smoke while the John Williams classic Superman theme song plays. He says it's been a long time since someone has made the Earth this nervous and that they should talk. He's wearing a very tuned-up looking version of the classic colors. If you look really closely too, the other thing you may have noticed is that he also has the classic Superman curl in his hair, which is different from the previous movies so far. I believe this is also the first time that they've actually used the classic John Williams Superman theme in the new DCEU movies. Because all the times you've seen Superman before, like even when he came back in the Justice League Snyder Cut, it was still the Hans Zimmer Superman music, not the John Williams Superman music. Then it goes back to the credits, and according to The Rock, that's specifically meant to set up Superman vs. Black Adam in the sequel. Like I said, the reason they go at it, maybe early prediction, it'll have something to do with Amon getting powers, and it's something that Amon does on accident. And that's why Superman gets involved, like why he would actually care about what's happening in Kahndaq. Or Amon causes some international disaster on accident, and that's why Superman gets involved. Because the whole idea is they want both of their actions to be justified. Like, why are they fighting each other? Why is Superman going after Black Adam? Because Black Adam is supposed to be protecting this surrogate son, and Superman is trying to protect the rest of the world. And separately, all the Justice League Easter eggs earlier and the Superman cameo scene at the end together are meant to foreshadow future Black Adam versus the Justice League in the movies. Like Black Adam with the entire team, not just Superman. But that's like later on. I think the first thing we're going to see is Black Adam versus Superman. But Zachary Levi has also said that the next time they work up to a Justice League movie, Shazam would be on the team. So like they want to work in the Black Adam and Shazam characters to the Justice League franchise. And this is sort of the way they do that through the Black Adam versus Superman in Black Adam 2. But you get the idea. Black Adam versus the Justice League, like he called them out on notice in earlier promos last year. That's the reason he was putting them on blast earlier, talking about the hierarchy of power in the DCEU changing. But what'll happen is my full breakdown and Easter eggs for the entire movie will post next on Saturday, and my House of the Dragon episode 10 finale video will post Sunday after they release it. So be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss any of that. Click here for that full Black Adam breakdown and Easter eggs video. I'll update the link as soon as I post it, and click here for my House of the Dragon episode 10 video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.